Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm Blair.
And I'm Kirsten, and we are mediocre content. And it is indeed corn.
Corn.
It's corn. It'll be forever stuck in my head. That kid will live in infamy.
True.
But I hope
maybe he'll end up like the Walmart kid. Remember the kid who yodeled in Walmart?
Oh my gosh, yes! I forgot about that
he's
kid.
Like famous on TikTok now.
Ah, of course he is.
Know. Yeah.
Also, hi Centric, good to see you. I'm glad you decided to shout corn. It's
Hola.
great. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. It's finally Thursday. And
Thursday. Got it down Thursday.
And Blair's face is already frozen, and it's fantastic.
Oh, good.
Fantastic.
Love that for me.
Yes, it's a good look. It's a good look. It's fine. Well, and we appreciate. Sorry, we are a little late. Turns out, Streamlabs is a jerk, and if you didn't know, sometimes it changes your settings without permission into zero string code. For a device that doesn't exist, and you spend 30 minutes agonizing over that. Which is just mediocre content, so. We're being honest.
Yes. Yep.
But, this is our second stream with Blair's new computer, right?
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed.
How are you liking the new computer?
It is very nice.
Yeah.
It has a lot more storage, which is nice.
Good.
And so far, I like having the traditional like monitor situation.
Oh, it's golden, isn't it?
It's so nice. Yeah, because I've been hunched over a laptop for like most of my adult life, and now this feels very like freeing.
Yeah,
sure.
It is very free. Also, I guess we should address the elephant in the room, the fact that it has been a month since we've streamed on said computer.
I mean, not to be... Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, wait. How about now? Centric always coming back with a positive. No, it was probably me, because we were trying to use all the audio settings to figure out what was going on. Turns out it doesn't exist in the audio sources. It exists separately. Is it still giving you a beautiful echo, though? Because if
Echo?
so... yeah. Echo. Let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
Hopefully not.
But yeah, so we definitely haven't been here in a hot minute.
No.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Love that for us. Okay. But yeah, and that's not because we're lazy and we don't want to do it, because that's
partially the reason.
I know that's what you thought, but that's not true. We actually Kirsten got sick, and then she somehow gave it to me via Zoom.
Yes.
And I also got sick. And then I think one time we also it was just like not in the cards. There was like too much going on, I think.
Yep. And that was the same night. I think it was the, you had to work and I had the ball, and at said ball, I got my fever, which was so fun. And I almost passed out during the speeches.
Nice.
Zoom easels. I know. I gave it to her right through the airwaves.
Yeah, it's true. It's 1,000% true. She said, I have not been feeling well, and my throat immediately started feeling bad.
Which could technically be placebo, but it was not.
It was, I thought it was. I was like, okay, I'll just have some tea and like my little brain will get over it. And that's not what happened at all.
Yeah. But we're both feeling sort of better, I think.
Yeah.
My allergies are still kicking my butt. I can't lie. I got so much drainage in my mouth. It's gross.
Same.
Not that, I mean, that's TMI for everybody who wants to know what's going on in my mouth, but it's not good if you're curious.
No. Nope. Not great.
So tonight we have a very fun, I guess.
Corn.
It's corn. It was supposed to be for November, but obviously that it's still November, but it's no longer like Thanksgiving November.
Right. Yes.
So we're getting it in on the tail end. We did miss the Pokemon one, but we did it a little bit over on my channel. So sorry for anybody that wanted to see that. It's just not going to happen on this side. It's more for me anyway. Thought it was a topic of corn, not mouth activities. I mean, you eat corn. That's a mouth activity.
So sorry, Centric. I'll try and keep her under control.
I don't know why we have to call it a mouth activity. But I'm going to use that. I'm going to put it in my pocket and save it for later. Get your eyebrows under control, woman. You know what? Disclaim. Just disclaim already.
Right,
we got stuff to do.
Fine. All right. So we are not experts on anything, and that includes corn. Okay.
I don't know about you, but I'm an expert on corn.
No, you're not. So with that in mind, we're just here to have a goofy, silly, fun time. Mm-hmm. We are not here to educate you in any way, really.
Darn.
And that is pretty much, I mean, yeah. Don't take us too seriously. Do your own research. If you feel very passionately about corn, share your thoughts in the comments, and that's all I got to say.
Indeed. But that's not actually all she has to say, because now I'm going to make you do the good news.
God.
So aren't you excited?
Making me work
just
on
wait,
our stream?
I mean, just wait till you read the title.
I
thought it is topical in many ways, but I'll get to that later.
Are we going to talk about corn and how you don't really digest it that well? Because if so, I'm not sure I want to be here for that.
Ironically, no.
Oh, good. Okay.
And while you're reading that, I'm going to do our daily commands, so enjoy.
All right. So, Kirsten titled this "The Power of Poo." So
I didn't title it that way.
She did.
The article.
This is her fault. Anyway. New Holland's brand new tractor runs on liquefied methane. Yum. Allowing farmers to decrease their emissions and save money on expensive diesel. Wonderful. But that isn't the only reason that it's more efficient, as the company says the fuel can easily be produced by methane from cow pies, allowing for more circular economic model in the most circular of industries. And for those of you who don't know what a cow pie is, some people may not know.
This is fair.
It's not a pie that you can eat. Put it that way.
Please don't.
The pioneering 270 horsepower tractor is claimed to be a match for the performance of standard diesel-powered versions. The groundbreaking machine was developed by a British company, Benjamin, which has been researching and developing biomethane production for over a decade. Waste byproducts from a herd as small as 100 cows are turned into a fuel called fugitive methane, which is methane that has done something wrong and escaped from prison.
And we are now looking for him. He is at large. If anyone's seen the fugitive methane, please call.
Into a fuel called fugitive methane in a biomethane storage unit based on the farm. I'm very proud of my joke. Anyway.
You nailed it.
Thank you so much. A cryogenic tank fitted on the tractor keeps the methane in liquid form at negative 162 degrees Celsius. That's cold AF. Mm-hmm. Giving the vehicle as much power as a diesel, but with significant emission savings. The T7 liquid methane fueled tractor is a genuine world first and another step towards decarbonizing the global agricultural industry and realizing a circular economy, said Brenneman co-founder Chris Mann. The company is also investigating the wider uses of the technology and hope it could be one day used to charge electric vehicles in rural locations. The Cornwall and Isles of Scilly, that's what local enterprise. It's spelled SCILLY. Local enterprise partnership are now co-funding a study to assess the scale of fugitive methane emissions in Cornwall, the location of Brenneman's headquarters. They will investigate their current emissions from sites such as dairy farms and wastewater treatment plants. Oh, that's really smart.
I know.
I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
The partnership will also study the future potential use of biomethane as fuel for the likes of transport and agriculture. Quote, if we can make our agriculture industry energy independent in the face of soaring input costs and volatile energy prices while reducing emissions, then we can provide a huge economic boost for rural communities, greater food security, and a move towards net zero, said the chair of LEP, Mark Dudridge.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. So technically, what makes me laugh about this is not the fact that you're going to watch corn go through your system, but it was farming related. And also, I enjoy when the liquid form of gases make you uncomfortable, like during our planet series.
I didn't even think about that, but you're so right.
I know. I feel like Neptune and Uranus was a really big time for you.
My first thought, honestly, was like, so what is the byproduct of burning the methane, though? And I'm assuming it's probably just water.
Probably.
Because if you take out, like, like, I don't know exactly. I need to do the organic chemistry to, like,
right.
figure it out. But I imagine it's probably just water or, like, hydrogen, maybe.
That's what I was thinking. Whatever it is, it's not methane anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So,
like, obviously.
Yeah, we need
CO2.
Yeah, we need Yusuf here.
Mm-hmm.
Throw it back
with his great handwriting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so it's agriculture related. And also, you know how I feel about the environment and science.
I do know that.
So naturally.
Yeah.
But yeah. The second part of today is, of course, corn. And if you're not a corn enthusiast, that's okay, because you're about to be. Not only are we going to talk about corn and how we've literally domesticated it like our cats, however, we're also going to get some trivia underway and a little bit of corn rating.
Great. I love rating corn.
Honestly, the colors are phenomenal.
I have two things to say about domesticating plants.
Yes.
Number one, I love that we can domesticate plants. And number two, corn is not the only thing we've domesticated. We've domesticated a lot of our produce.
So much. In fact, I would say the majority. And not only that, but much of our produce is a hybrid of the original. So even more so.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about.
And the thing is I took a class on apples at the, like, in a Maymester at the end of my college career, and it was like the science behind food. It was really cool.
I bet it was.
And we went to, like, we went to a farm, and we, like, got to see all the things. It was really fun.
Is this at Chatham?
Yeah.
Great place to do that, honestly.
It was awesome. Yeah. Anyway, but we learned about all the different varieties of apples, and some places only have, like, certain ones, and they're not. And some people have, like, the original apples that were, like, the first ones to, like, naturally grow. So anyway, it's just interesting. Anyway, plant genetics is interesting. Anyway,
plant genetics is interesting. And I remember when we were learning about, like, recessive and dominant genes, and you had to do like the flower chart, like which one would it be if it was this and that, whatever. It goes so much deeper than that in reality, and it's so cool. I'm gonna geek out a little bit.
You're so right.
On plant genomes.
Yeah. Anyway, underrated, honestly.
It's so underrated. If you want something to, like, just burn time on, get into it. It's worth your time.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we'll start with the basics, I suppose. What is corn? Corn is also called Z-maize. That's Zeamays.
Nobody calls it that. It's just the scientific name. Anyway.
It's true. It's a cereal plant of the grass family, and it's obviously an edible grain. I don't know if anybody knows that. It's a considered an edible grain, and a grass.
It's not a vegetable. I would just like to confirm.
It is not a vegetable.
It is not a vegetable. I know that's controversial to a lot of Americans.
But it's the truth.
It's not a vegetable. Anyway, continue.
I'm pretty sure it's got a lot of starch in it, if I'm not mistaken.
It does.
Yeah, it's very starchy.
Corn technically is starch.
Yeah. Like potatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a whole nother debate as well. We do an episode on potatoes at some point.
And like cornstarch is literally just ground up corn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's just like starch, really.
Starch. Yeah. It's redundant. It's like chai tea.
Right.
Tea.
It's
yeah,
tea.
No, exactly.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Okay.
The English language is immaculate. Any hoodle. So the domesticated crop originated, of course, in the Americas and is one of the most widely distributed of all world's food crops. It is used as a livestock feed, obviously human food, biofuel, which we'll talk a little bit about, and, of course, as raw material in industry, which you might not know about specifics. I don't know if that's as obvious.
Yeah.
Something you may not know is that humans did actually domesticate corn, as we just talked about, and obviously other fruits and veg and starches alike. I understand that corn is not like cats and dogs, but it carries over. There's things that we have essentially bred for in the starches. What do you say to corn after you eat it? Chris, I don't even want to know. Corn bro!
What? I want to know.
Now he's corn bro. See, we were just talking about that.
We were. You missed it.
Good to see you. Also, I don't think I actually said it verbally, but hi, Abby. Good to see you, lovely.
Yes, hello.
All right. Corn history. Let's talk about it. Corn was first domesticated by native peoples in southern Mexico about 10,000 years ago. Southern Mexico, like under the United States, obviously. Just want to make sure everybody knows their geography on that.
We watched a commercial. This is stupid, but we watched a last night we went to the movies, as we do every Wednesday, and we saw a preview for, I think it was like St. Jude's, and typically that's not a funny commercial, but the way that they were like, help children in North America and help children in Southern America and help children in South America. And I'm just like, what is going on?
What? That is a mess.
It was not well scripted. It was really funny.
They didn't even say Central America.
I know.
Not that I live in Central America.
Right, but the fact that they said Southern America and South America, I'm like, what are you guys doing?
We are separate and not equal at all.
Right. I don't know.
Also, we started at 6, for the record.
Ish.
It
was like 6:05.
Yeah. Yeah, you're late. Anyway, modern corn is believed to have been derived from the Balsas teosinte, or Z-maize parviglumis, which is a wild grass, if we're using in a different time zone. Its culture had spread as far north as southern Maine by the time of European settlement of North America, and Native Americans taught European colonists to grow the indigenous grains. Since its introduction into Europe by Christopher Columbus at the time, and of course other explorers or colonizers, corn did end up spreading to all areas of the world suitable for its cultivation, and it is grown from the 58-degree north latitude in Canada and Russia to 40 degrees south latitude in South America.
So videos I've already seen, Chris. Videos we've already seen.
Yep, exactly. I saw those a month ago. With a corn crop maturing somewhere in the world nearly every month of the year. So they grow up fast. They're already teenagers.
Wow.
It is the most important crop in the United States specifically, as it is a staple food in many other places, of course. In the pioneer days, women would spend their time, in general, growing, preserving, and preparing food, and corn could be prepared in many different ways, such as something called Johnny cakes, hominy, cornbread, and cornmeal mush. So if it's plentiful, it's also cheap and easy to use. or people find cheap and easy ways to use it. And that's what happened.
I have 2 comments. First comment is my aunt used to make hominy for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And it was gross. And the
shout out to players. It was disgusting.
It was not my preference. And the other thing is when you said in the pioneer days, my brain immediately was like, the pioneers used to drive these babies for miles.
It's a rock.
It's not a rock. It's a boulder.
Oh my gosh. This is so dumb. So why does SpongeBob always come back?
It's always relevant.
Icon. Truly 100%. An icon.
I know.
It's just a stupid boulder.
Squidward is a vibe, though. Now that we're old, Squidward is a vibe.
Gosh. I honestly, and also I feel, I feel bad for Karen a lot of the times. Don't stir the corn. Okay, I have to tell you this story. I'm going to out Chris for the third time.
Okay, good.
Okay.
I'm ready.
So, this is a running joke this year because of a mishap on Thanksgiving last year. So last year, my aunt made corn pudding. And the important thing to know about corn pudding is you have to let it set once you make it. So you put it in a dish, you make it all together, you kind of smooth it out on the top, let it set for a while, and we're all getting ready collectively to grab a plate. And Chris goes over and he's like, this hasn't been stirred, and begins to stir the setting corn pudding. And Suzanne goes, no. And he essentially ruined, I'm going to put that in, because set, not stir. That's right, set, not stir. Those are 2 different things. And, and so now the rule is Chris has to ruin the corn pudding.
Oh no.
But he didn't this year.
Proud.
I'm pretty sure it survived, and it was it tasted exactly the same. I don't know.
Can I ask you, because corn pudding is not something that we regularly have in my household, so I was wondering, what is it?
That's a great question.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. The house exploded from anger. I've never seen so much outrage around corn pudding. So it's got corn in it, for sure.
So did you guys have to remake the corn pudding, or it was fine?
You just eat it.
Oh, okay. All right, that's good.
I feel like it's more. I don't know why you have to let it rest.
Oh my God.
I don't know why it needs a nap in between being cooked and then eaten. I don't know if it's a heat thing.
So the pudding can set up correctly?
I mean, I guess maybe so it's less jiggly. I don't know. I didn't really taste the difference between when Chris stirred it and when he left it alone this year.
Okay.
So at least I don't remember there being a conscious wow, this tastes so much better unstirred.
What I'm imagining in my brain is banana pudding with the vanilla wafers on top, but I know that that's not true. That's not what it is.
It's definitely a different consistency. So yeah, no, I don't know. Thank you. But anyway, it's Chris's fault, so anyway.
Cool.
Back to the regular corn, though. Hand picking, obviously, is a difficult job. It was the hardest job around corn. I know, it's just corn in a bucket. Yeah. We just put corn in a dish, and we're like, pudding. It started in October, and it might take the whole family several cold months to finish, so fun times. I can show you guys a picture of corn pudding, probably.
Ooh, yeah.
That would probably be helpful.
Share with the class.
The thing is, it always looks different. I want to find a picture that looks the closest to how she made... Okay, so this is what I think it's made to look like. Hold on a second, hold on. Can y'all see this? Yeah, okay. So this is essentially what it looks like. It's got breading in it, probably cornmeal would be my guess, or flour or some kind of concoction. But the main ingredient is corn and dreams. And it is very delicious in my opinion.
Specifically, you have to have dreams.
Yes,
to be able to make it.
If you don't have dreams, it's just gonna taste like Chris stirred it.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So
Thanksgiving food.
Yeah,
typically.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Is it sweet?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. Not lockjaw sweet though.
Okay.
It's just it tastes like corn with a little bit of sugar in it.
Yeah.
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 Looks like it could use a mix. Just get that spoon in there and just. I don't think he'll ever live it down. That's just his shtick now.
I just love that, like, Chris looked at the pudding and was like,
he really was trying to help.
This needs a stir.
just
took it upon himself to really, like, help out.
I was doing it for the family. Encanto reference. Anyway.
No shade to you, Chris. I'm sure it's fine.
Like, it was one of those
it all worked
Glen
out.
Coco moments.
Yeah. Oh my God. Speaking of, this is like so tangent-y. Okay.
It's fine.
So I was listening to Seth Meyers and his brother have a podcast.
Mm.
Seth Meyers being the guy who hosts Late Night on NBC.
Mm-hmm.
And their podcast is called like Family Trips. So they talk to celebrities about their like childhood family trips, and it's like very entertaining. I like it. Cute. And they did a Thanksgiving episode where like listeners submitted their like Thanksgiving stories for
no bad intentions. We know.
Yeah. But what was my train of thought? It got derailed. Thanksgiving episode, yes. Yeah. And so the listeners like submit their stories about Thanksgiving and like, you know, they're sweet or funny or like whatever it is. This one guy, I'm like driving on my way to, let me set the scene. I'm driving on my way to work.
Okay, I'm ready.
And it is like 6:30 in the morning. Okay. And I'm listening to this podcast, very like nonchalant, whatever. This guy calls into their podcast and is like, hi, so I just need to get this off my chest. I was 7 years old and I threw up in the green bean casserole. Didn't tell anyone. And everyone ate it and nobody knows to this day.
That's so gross.
Isn't that disgusting?
I would never go to anybody else's house for Thanksgiving again. That's disgusting. Also, hi, Quib. Happy December.
I literally, my mouth fell open, and I was like, "Oh my God!" to no one in my car at 6:30 in the morning. Like I was shocked.
Oof, big oof.
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
So, Chris, moral of the story, at least you didn't do that.
Yeah, at least you didn't vom in front of everyone.
Not that guy. You could be that guy.
Stir it in. This'll be good.
Right.
Oh, how did nobody notice?
I don't know. I feel like Seth Meyers and his brother are like, well, this means two things. One,
right.
You have to live with that for the rest of your life.
It's true.
And two, green bean casserole is gross enough where no one will know if they're up in it.
That makes me so sad because I love green bean casserole.
It's not bad. Yeah, I know. It's like good. It's not bad, but
God. Now I'll always
apparently you can disguise your throw up in green bean casserole.
Oh God. I wish I would have been better not knowing. Yeah. Her whole life was ruined because of the corn
everything.
It's true. When you see her next, if you ever see her in person again, Blair, you'll have to ask her about it.
I will. I'm very excited to ask her.
New family topic of discussion.
Yeah.
Okay, so from vomit to corn.
Segue.
I can't make the segue happen, so that's what I'm gonna do. Has anybody seen corn before? Because we're going to talk about what it looks like. Tornado stirred pudding. The best of the best. Only the best. So the corn plant, which I'm sure all of you have seen, is a tall annual grass with a stout, solid stem, and it sits very high in the sky. No, corn with a C. The large, narrow...
Not corn.
Yeah,
like
not
the
corn.
rock band.
We're talking... Oh, God, I was literally about to do corn. Never mind. Back to corn.
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 C-O-R.
Yeah, I was just spelling it out. That was not where I thought that was gonna go in my mind, but my hands had a different idea. Yes,
Suddenly you know sign language.
Suddenly I'm like, you know what? I don't know. Oh my god. Yes, I'm also all ears. The large, narrow leaves have many wavy margins and are spaced alternately, which we also talked about in biology, on opposite sides of the stem. There is a staminate, which is the male flower, which are borne on the tassel terminating the main axis of the stem. We're getting real technical here. And then the pistillate, which is the female inflorescences, which mature to become the edible ears, are spikes with a thickened axis bearing paired spikelets and longitudinal row. It's making a corn cob is the point. So
that was really in depth.
Very in depth.
Yeah.
There are, of course, tons of varieties, and we'll see the colors and varieties later. But they include yellow, white corn, and those are the most popular food uses for humans. But there's also red, blue, pink, black, banded, spotted, striped, and with each one, it's enclosed by a shuck or a husk. You shuck the corn. It just means you take the husk of it off. It's just a wrapping on the corn itself. Corned beef is not corn. Don't
know.
Different corn. So there are also commercial classifications based on kernel texture, and this is where we're going to see examples later. So I'm actually going to kind of skirt around the names and the discussion of those because we'll talk about it later. But Blair, would you like to talk about corn today?
Sure. Corn today. Corn has been the leading crop in Iowa for more than 150 years. Not surprising.
No.
Iowa produces more corn than the entire country of Mexico. On average, Iowa grows 183 bushels of corn per acre. Nationally, the average is 173 bushels per acre per the USDA. Tractors are becoming more technologically advanced, and planting and harvesting corn is becoming easier over time. Scientists discovered that allowing the pollen from one corn plant to pollinate itself created an inbred plant with special characteristics. I'm sorry if you can hear the dog barking outside of my window.
You don't even have a dog.
I don't even have a dog. The plant, it was called a hybrid, which has some unique traits such as higher yield or resistance to insects or pests. Even though hybrid corn costs more to produce, farmers liked the improved yield, and hybrid corn became popular across the Corn Belt. In 1933, less than 1% of all corn raised in Iowa was hybrid corn. Just 9 years later, in 1942, virtually 100% of corn raised in Iowa was hybrid corn. 3 acres of hybrid corn produces the same amount of corn as 4 acres of the old-fashioned corn. So you can see how this is beneficial.
Absolutely.
So farmers could grow more corn on their land, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Hybrid corn stands up so well, so it's easier to harvest with a machine. The old-fashioned corn had stalks and roots that were weak and they blew down, so it was hard for machine pickers to harvest. I would also like to say, and you might bring this up later, there are several types of corn, but there is corn that is specifically grown to like feed to animals, and then there's corn that we eat. Which are we talking about that later?
Yes.
Okay, so I will not spoil it.
We'll get to it. All
right.
You can also do uses of corn if you want.
Sure, I would love to. Let me take a sip of water though first.
Unacceptable. Your throat should be ready. Weave and corn eater. We're back to the bats. We've made it full circle.
Oh my god.
We're back in October now.
Y'all really liked the bat one.
It was, honestly, it did great.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. So, uses of corn. Food, duh. Corn is the third largest plant-based food source in the world. Despite its importance as major food in many parts of the world, corn is inferior to other cereals in nutritional value. The protein is of poor quality, and it is deficient in niacin. Diets in which it predominates often results in pellagra, which is a niacin deficiency disease. Corn is high in dietary fiber and rich in antioxidants, as we know.
Delicious.
Yep. Unlike many other cereal grains, and just again to reiterate, corn is not a vegetable.
Nope.
Corn flour is gluten-free, which is good for the gluten-free friends, and cannot be used alone to make breads rise, which is why gluten-free bread is a challenge.
I will say, though, the one thing I do not is corn tortillas. I prefer flour tortillas.
Oh, so it depends on what I'm doing. I think corn tortillas I like for like a taco, but with burritos, I feel like you need the stretchiness of the flour, of the gluten, to like make it wrap nicely. But I do like corn tortillas a lot, actually.
Yeah, I can't get behind it, but that's okay.
If you put corn tortillas in the oven and crisp them up, they're basically just corn chips.
Okay, so maybe that's just what I need to do.
Yeah,
Make hard tacos.
That's right. Yeah. Which is, I think, also what is that called? There's a word for it. I'll think of it.
Okay.
Okay. It is widely used, however, in Latin American cuisine to make masa, a kind of dough used in such staple foods as tortillas.
Masa.
It took every fiber of my being not to say tortilla, which is
tortillas, arepas,
so bad.
Tamales.
Oh God. Okay.
Grandma. She loves her some tortilla chips.
Can I just say, growing up in Southern Virginia did not do me well in terms of my ability to speak the Spanish language.
My favorite thing that Grandma says is, I was looking on internet the other day.
I like that.
Not on the internet.
No, internet.
She was on internet.
Which is different than what we're all experiencing.
She is experiencing a whole new world. Tamales, frijoles. What is that, Centric? Frijoles? Frijoles?
Tamales, frijoles? Beans, I think, right?
Beans! Beans.
Okay, moving on. In the United States... and many other places, sweet corn is boiled or roasted on the cob. Steamed, creamed corn, converted into hominy, which is hulled kernels or meal, and cooked into corn pudding. Hominy is not my jam. Cooked into corn puddings, Kirsten.
Yep.
Mush,
Chris.
Which sounds bad overall. Polenta, griddle cakes, cornbread, and scrapple. Ooh, scrapple.
Scrapple is gross.
I can't say. Isn't it like meat, corn, like all in one dish or something?
I can honestly say that the only time I've encountered scrapple, ironically, was also in Pennsylvania. And I was not a fan at all.
All right.
But that's okay.
Not your jam. It's okay. Where was I? It is also used for popcorn, which we all love. Are you a movie theater butter person, or are you a regular?
I love it. Okay, wait. Let me back up. At the movies, yes.
Okay.
But at home, I'm a classic Orville.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But not the mini bags, because they burn too easy.
Yes. No, I agree. You have to get the full size bag.
You do.
And plus, you're not going to eat like just a mini bag of popcorn. That's ridiculous.
If you don't eat an entire classic bag of Orville popcorn on your own, are you even like alive? Are you even
useless.
A human?
I know.
Absolutely useless.
Useless. I'm like you. I like when we go to the movies so often that we like don't get popcorn every time, but when Chris gets some movies,
excuse me,
we don't get popcorn every time. It's like $5 for like a little bag of popcorn.
That is sacrilegious.
Every week? Come on.
Every week. Hashtag corny.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Ridiculous. I'm going to have a
I
talk
will not
with
be
you
reprimanded for this because
you-
popcorn at the movies is expensive.
Just
okay?
you wait till we get off stream.
Oh my God.
You want to rumble?
You guys help me out here. But what I was gonna say is that I do like movie theater butter popcorn.
It is good.
You know.
In general.
But when I'm at home, you know, I like to get the big bags of Smart Pop too. Those are pretty good. Just to like, you know, eat casually.
I think Utz has a brand of popcorn, like the buttered popcorn that I like. And the off-brand ones are actually pretty good too.
Yeah.
I used to be a really big Smart Foods white cheddar popcorn person.
Ooh, that's really good.
But I've grown out of it. Now I eat it and I'm like, it's all right. But they have a movie theater popcorn one now.
Ooh.
But you can't find it everywhere, which is a disappointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So,
popcorn.
Popcorn. Corn oil valued for its bland flavor. That's nice. And light color is used primarily for food. It is favored as a salad oil, a frying oil because it contains little cholesterol.
Oh, I forgot that people like caramel corn. Sorry.
Do you not like caramel corn? Oh, because you're not a sweet person.
No, I'm a bitch. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate you putting that out in the universe.
That is not what I said, first of all. And how dare you? Anyway, that's what I meant, because that's not what I meant.
Oh, that's right. You're not a sweet person. It's a known fact, Centric. It's a known fact.
Oh my God.
No, I actually don't like caramel corn, and I don't like kettle corn, and I don't think they're the same, but if they are, I don't like either. What? I'm gonna go down that flight of stairs so fast. Yeah, I don't like it, especially fair versions. We'll recover.
I don't think we will.
Oh my God. I didn't think you'd take it that hard.
Okay, so first of all, Kirsten is not just a bitch, she's a salty bitch.
There are terms.
She likes salty food.
I do.
Therefore, she's a salty bitch.
She's very accurate. Blair, on the other hand, is a sweet bitch, and they like all of the sweet things with occasional salt in the mix.
I like chips.
Chips are the go-to. Chips are.
I love chips.
Mm-hmm. That whole bag of chips is mine. Like, don't touch it.
Right. Yeah. It's a problem. Like, there was a time where we would get like the can of Pringles, and like I would have to eat the whole thing like within a day.
I know. Well, I feel like Pringles does that to you, because I always go, you can't have just one, and then I feel like it's a challenge. It's like, okay, what if I had the entire can?
Right. In which case,
yeah.
I don't know.
Could they blame me?
Could they blame me?
You?
Right. No,
right.
exactly.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. All right. What am I doing here?
Salad oil.
Corn oil can be converted into margarine by hydrogenation, which is a fun chemistry term.
It is.
A process in which the oil is combined with hydrogen at high temperature and pressure in the presence of a catalyst. Corn is also fermented into a number of alcoholic beverages, notably bourbon and other corn whiskeys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun times. Yeah.
Now, Corn can also be used as a biofuel. And if you grew up in the early 2000s, you will know that this was a very hot topic.
Yes.
Corn is also used to produce ethanol, a first-generation liquid biofuel. In the United States, corn ethanol is typically blended with gasoline to produce, oh, is that what they call it? Gasohol? That's so stupid. That's a terrible name.
I think it's creative.
I don't like it.
You see how we did? See how it looks like we shouldn't do that, but we did it anyway.
Okay. Well, although corn-based biofuels were initially touted as environmentally friendly alternatives to petroleum, their production diverts arable land and feedstock from the human food chain, sparking a food versus fuel debate. So obviously that was not a great idea.
Obviously.
The government just wanted to help corn farmers out, and so therefore the oil companies bought it, and there we are. In addition, crops grown for biofuel can compete for the world's natural habitats, and the emphasis on ethanol derived from corn has shifted grasslands and brushlands to corn monocultures in some places, impacting biodiversity. Beyond land use changes, the process of growing corn to produce ethanol consumes fossil fuels in farming equipment, in fertilizer manufacturing, in corn transportation, and in ethanol distillation. What is happening in the chat right now?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
In this respect, ethanol made from corn represents a relatively small energy gain. The energy gain from sugarcane is greater than, and that from cellulosic ethanol made from non-edible plant parts such as agricultural waste or algae biodiesel could be even greater. Though the conversion technology is generally less efficient than that of first-generation biofuels. Yes.
Yes.
Kirsten, would you like to take the rest?
Sure.
Or some of the rest?
Sure. So the other category is kind of random because it didn't fit in either of those categories, obviously, which is why they named it other. So many parts of the corn plant are used in different types of industrial applications. Corn grain is processed by something called wet milling, in which the grain is soaked in a dilute solution of sulfurous acid, which is fun, or by dry milling, in which the corn is exposed to a water spray or steam, which seems a little wet to me, but maybe not the same as the previous one.
Not the same.
Not the same. And by fermentation. And this is when the starches are changed to sugars and yeast employed to convert sugars into alcohol. So that's an important process. That's how you make the bourbons and the whiskeys, etc. Corn starch made from wet milled corn can be broken down into corn syrup, a common sweetener that we all know, that is generally less expensive than sucrose, which is, again, you've got something that's widely available. It's going to be less expensive and probably used throughout, which we have seen.
Yes.
It is sold commercially as either light or dark corn syrup, so there's different versions. And the light corn, the difference is that it has been clarified and decolorized and is usually used in baked goods, jams, and jellies, and of course other food products. Because it does not crystallize when heated, it is particularly valued as an ingredient in candies as well, which we also know. Dark corn syrup, though, is made by combining corn syrup with molasses and caramel coloring and is sweeter than the light corn syrup. It is used in the same ways as the light. It is also used as a table syrup, which is why that syrup is usually darker. Corn syrup can be further processed into high fructose corn syrup, which we've heard about a lot in the news.
We have heard a lot about this, yes.
We have.
Which is not really that good for you. And if I was a conspiracy theorist, I would say that the government was trying to help out farmers to create this high fructose corn syrup to replace sugar, and it's not actually that healthy for you, and you shouldn't eat it. Anyway, continue.
I think there's lots of debates about it, but it is obviously used in processed foods like soft drinks and candies. In addition, it is edible as corn oil, like we've talked about, but it can be incorporated into soaps, paints, and inks, which are not edible. So do not eat those. Different. Thirst and go hydrate? Rude! Did you give me a hydrate? Have you done the Pokemon? No, it's fine. We did it in my own, but not really. It also has been used in the production of certain insecticides, which I would also not encourage you to eat, and in the manufacture of biodiesel, which we talked about. Don't eat that either.
No.
Corn stalks are made into paper and wallboard. Husks can be used for filling material. The cobs themselves can be used directly for fuel to make charcoal and in preparation of industrial solvents. They can also have art installations, apparently. You can make woven amulets and husk dolls, which sounds horrifying. And basically, you can do a lot with corn. The Blarion and Kirsten Chew. That's adorable.
That is cute.
Blarion is adorable.
And that is adorable. I do love that.
Cornmon. Yeah, this is exactly corn. It's the same. They need a corn Pokemon. They've got other ridiculous stuff anyway.
Yeah.
And this brings me to the fun part, if I do say so myself.
Yay.
Yay! Okay, we're gonna have a little bit of corn trivia. So, buckle up. You can stalk the Cornmon. That sounds horrifying. Okay, so corn trivia, everybody. Get ready. Are we ready?
Bum, ba, ba, ba.
Ba, 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 ba. All right, true or false? Corn grows on every continent, including Antarctica. What do we think?
Like it can grow or that it naturally grows?
That it can grow.
True.
You think true?
Sure, why not?
What do we think, chat? True or false? And if you're wrong, Chris is going to stir the corn pudding next year.
I think he's gone.
Sag. False for quip? Okay, okay. Yeah. True, okay. All right, Centric says
I like
true.
the support. Thanks, Centric.
Yeah. It is false. It can grow on every continent except Antarctica.
See, that's rude.
Why is that rude?
Because I was like, it's like half right.
It is half right. This reminds me of school, and I hate it, but I also love it. I'm also assuming you didn't see the PowerPoint before, which makes it better.
No, I definitely didn't. No,
Fantastic.
This is the first time.
Excellent. All right, moving on then. All right, please select one. Corn is an ingredient in more than blank everyday grocery items, and your options are 200, 10,000, or 4,000.
I'm going to go with C.
C. Okay. C. See, listen here. Put some damn corn in Antarctica.
The penguins. I think the penguins would enjoy it.
They might. I mean, most other birds do enjoy corn. Are you having a problem? Are you okay?
My cat, the automatic feeder just went off, and they like immediately bolted out of here. So I just wanted to make sure it was because of that and not anything terrible.
Of course. Okay, Quip says 10,000. Centric's backing you up with the C again, so hopefully you're right this time. Got cornflakes.
It's the medium answer, so
yeah, that's true. And C is correct. 4,000 everyday grocery items.
I win.
C for corn.
C for corn.
Yay.
Wonderful.
That's great. Good job, good job. Another true or false. In 2012 to 2013, the USDA estimated 4.5 billion bushels of corn in the U.S. would produce 14 billion gallons of ethanol. We buy a lot of corn, indeed.
Yeah.
What do you think? It's a lot of bushels. 4.5 billion.
It is. I'm trying to think. I guess that's may be true, unless it's like 10 billion gallons instead of 14 billion gallons.
I
Because
didn't do that.
You're a meanie.
I swear I didn't do that.
Sure, why not? True.
True. Okay. What do we think, chat? True or false? I could have done that, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, you could have.
4.3.
With great power becomes great responsibility.
I was very responsible.
Uh-huh.
False. Oh, Centric doesn't believe you.
It's fine.
She did 1.4 billion. False. It's actually true. That is actually a fact.
Look at me go.
Wow. Ugh, that's good stuff. And then our final select one. A single bushel of corn can sweeten about blank cans of soda. 400, 1,000, or 50?
1,000.
1,000?
Mm-hmm.
Chat, thoughts, concerns? Mostly concerns. We did an entire stream about corn.
Right.
That would be why we are 3 trillion plus in debt for corn.
I would say.
We are so pressed for corn.
I don't even want to talk about it.
It's a lot to go in. It's a lot. It's very heavy. A. Okay, Quip says A. What do you think? What did you say? You said 1,000.
I said B. B
Centric
for Blair
says
is
A.
always right.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. We got 2 A's in chat, though, so let's see.
Yeah, it's probably A.
It is A.
No, good.
It is 400 cans of soda. Very good. Very nice. Nice job, everybody.
It was unclear how much a bushel is, though, just to be fair.
A bushel and a peck, in fact. A for apple. This isn't even about apples.
It could be.
It could be. I guess we're doing potatoes and apples next. Okay. So this is the part where we get to rate some corn, okay? And this is just based on aesthetic and feels. We're going to talk about what the corn is, and you can rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, this corn is freaking hype, 1 being, I could do without. How do we feel about that?
I love this. This is great.
A for A, that's a lot of sweeteners. It's true. Applesauce. Apple soa? I don't know what you meant there. All right, so this is sweet corn. A majority of gardeners and seed catalogs focus on sweet corn because it's also most familiar and approachable for the home kitchen. Nothing says summer like a fresh ear of eaten right off the cob.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet corn is best picked as its early or milk stage, which is when it's still tender and juicy.
Stage.
The milk stage of sweet corn is identified by the release of a milky substance from the kernel.
No.
When pressed with a thumbnail, and occurs a week to 20 days after the corn tassel begins to shed pollen.
Absolutely not.
Anybody want to go corn milking? Just let me know.
Okay, so I was going to do a 10 out of 10 until you went into your milk phase.
Sometimes you gotta go into a milk phase.
You ruined corn.
This
you ruined
is the description. What do you want from me? I'm a plagiarizer.
Show me the picture so I can rate it on vibes. That's what I want.
This is a great vibes picture. Look how summery that corn looks. Let me finish talking about sweet corn. You be quiet. Sweet corn originated from genetic...
Excuse me, that is not my job on this podcast. Thank you very much. My job is to say words on this podcast.
Oh, that's right. I forgot what a podcast was.
Right.
Damn it. When you could just slurp the corn of the cob with the milky corn.
Don't make me say the M word now.
Slurpy corn. Gross. Rate the I will never be the same. I'm really upset I kept the milk stage in it now. Thanks for ruining it, guys.
Corn.
Oh, no! It was bad enough with this, okay? We don't need this with it, okay? You just let that out. We're now rated R.
And this is how Blair and Kirsten died.
This is how we do it. We're still recovering. Oh my god, I'm gonna take a drink. Mm-mm-mm.
My cheeks hurt.
Specify your face, please.
From all the smiling.
Thank you.
There's too much happiness here.
Everybody get sad right now. I want full tears.
Full depression?
Right this moment. Right, yep.
Oh, okay.
Sweet corn originated from genetic mutations in harder flint and flour corns, which prevented the conversion of sugars to starch. We're ignoring the second sentence. When you open a packet of sweet corn seeds for planting, the kernels should be wrinkled as the sugars that dominate have dehydrated, and as soon as the fresh ear of corn is picked, the sugars start to dehydrate, so it's best to consume it right away. So that's sweet corn. Go ahead and rate it 1 through 10 as desired on the vibe scale of sweet corn. Thank you. Apparently, we're rating it an 8.
Yes, we are. You're welcome.
Because of the milking segment, which I did not anticipate being ridiculous.
Otherwise, sweet corn is, like, very nice.
I should have remembered the audience we were dealing with.
You should have.
Mostly ourselves.
I would like to think that you know me well enough at this stage in our friendship that I would have something to say about that.
Oof. 7. Didn't milk well and has to be eaten quickly? That sentence is wild to me. 6. Expired milk corn. Okay.
All right.
Moving on. We're just going to move on.
That's good.
We're going to talk about flour corn. I just realized that the Pokemon thing is like perfectly in line with the corn types logo, so it kind of looks like you can catch the corn, and it's actually really nice. I like how it just inadvertently lined
I see
up.
that. It looks nice.
It's perfect. We invented the corn Pokemon. All right. Here we go. Flour corn is composed mainly of soft starch, which gives it the ability to be easily ground into a fine corn meal. Flour corn varieties can grow from 2-foot varieties to 8 to 10 feet tall and grow well in areas that are drier. The ears are typically long and slender and can be harvested in its immature stage. Common preparation methods include
similar to us in our immature stage.
Oh, correct. Common preparation methods include steaming, boiling, and roasting. Catch the flour, exactly.
All right. I think I know what we're rating this one.
Okay, good. While it is sweeter and more tender than flint types in this stage, it is not as sweet as sweet corn types, and most often flour corn is harvested when fully ripe and dry and ground into the cornmeal. The flavor of flour corn is subtle and delicate. Without the dense oils and proteins packed into the endosperm, the flavor is not as rich as types of flint corn. Blue and red varieties have the most flavor as well as nutrition from an abundance of antioxidants and carotenoids. Flour corn's soft texture makes it much easier to grind and digest, which is why most preparations are with the fine cornmeal they produce. There's many uses for food products like breads, tortillas, tamales, or pinole, cornmeal added to drinks, and flour corn kernels can also be left whole and parched for corn nuts and made into pozole. I guess that's how you say it. Dried kernels can be ground with a powerful blender or food processor or a hand crank grinder, which I don't have, and brings out the best flavor. And toasting whole kernels or the ground cornmeal intensifies the flavor and adds a nutty richness. Flour corn is corn on its period. All right. Ooh, a 9 out of 10. Okay. Aesthetics and Thanksgiving. It does look very fall and autumnal. Mm-hmm. Or it'll stain your teeth red, yeah. Is it 1980? I know. Who? I don't have one.
I don't have one either.
Who's hand cranking out the corn? You know what, though? Amish, probably. Are still hand cranking out the corn, I wonder.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. All right. We're giving it a 9 out of 10, apparently. Even my parents don't have one. Yeah. It's very pretty. Cornmeal's all right. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of, I actually don't even like cornbread. which is probably sacrilegious as well.
It is.
Yeah. 5 out of 10?
Can confirm.
Hand cranking in the field? Yeah, 5 out of 10.
It's fair. It's fair.
I would like to work.
Too much work.
Too much work. Yeah, it's okay. It's pretty. No cornbread and
this
kernel.
This one is pretty.
Yeah. I can't help it, Centric. I have tastes, okay? Specific ones, even. All
she do.
Dent field corn. This one is also very autonomous. Crank one out with corn. No. Dent corn is named because it does indeed have indentations that appear at the top of the kernel as it dries. The kernels contain a hard form of starch at the sides and a soft starch type in the center. And these center starches tend to shrink as the kernel dries, creating a, quote, dent, obviously, in the top of the kernel. And you can kind of see it in this picture with the dried corn that there's here. Yeah.
This one also gives giving fall vibes.
Yeah, it does. And these also, I don't know, I know in the first one they talked about, or maybe it was the second one just now, they talked about like the size of the stalks, but I'm sure it also varies like the size of the cob itself as well. These guys look long, like long boys. These look like tall pine cones. That's right, exactly. They're really long.
Yeah.
Ears produced from dent varieties tend to be large and hefty, and therefore they have tall, strong stalks to support their weight. Okay, so, yeah. Typically, the plants do not bush out with numerous stalks called tillers, which is a common trait in their heirloom flower and flint types. The tall single stalks also make them attractive for harvesting with large-scale commercial equipment for use in corn mazes. That makes sense. Also known as field corn, dent corn makes up the majority of commercially raised corn in the world, and it's no different in the United States. It is primarily used for livestock feed, silage, corn gluten meal, food products from cornbread to tortilla chips, and further refined into high fructose corn syrup, plastics, and ethanol. Don't eat plastic or drink ethanol. Just like to be very clear. You have millie corn, then you have the field corn that was left to die in the shed. Oh my god. It's for real. Because of the commercial applications, much of the dent corn varieties grown are GMO or hybrids, and dent corn has a high starch content and can be ground into cornmeal when harvested dry. The medium granular texture is also ideal for grits, which I don't eat either. I don't know. Do you eat grits?
I don't eat grits either.
Yeah.
It was one of those southern foods that like I never really enjoyed.
Yeah, not my favorite either. I don't like the texture.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Dry kernels can be nixtamalized to make hominy, which a lot of corn is used for, to grind into masa or hominy grits. Neither of which I don't think I've eaten hominy grits or masa. I don't think so anyway. True grit? Yeah, I guess. Harvested fresh dent corn is used for elotes in Mexico, which is corn on the cob with condiments such as salt, chili powder, butter, cotija, lemon juice or lime juice, and mayonnaise, which I believe the slang term is street corn. Am I making that up?
Yes. No, that's correct. Yeah. And it's super good. They have it all over here where I live.
Yeah. It's very good in general. Tyler really likes it. But it's being replaced with sweet corn varieties these days, it sounds like.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It's also, I think sweet corn is just more widely available these days. It's just produced more often. Yeah. Is mayonnaise an instrument? No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Seahorse radish is not an instrument either. All right. So how do we feel about dent corn? It's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information. I would say for versatility, we could go with like versatility and like overall color. I would say probably like a 9.6 out of 10.
It's got good vibes.
It's got good vibes. It probably doesn't taste very good like raw. You have to do something to it first.
Yeah, agreed.
I think the only one that we've talked about, sweet corn, is the only one that like tastes good straight up. But
It's true. Yeah, okay, I could see that.
Yeah.
It's very pretty. Dent corn, 8 out of 10. Looks like my hopes and dreams kind of dead.
Oh.
No. Oh, no. All right. Well, this one should cheer you right up. This is flint corn. We've hinted at it in the other parts. This type of corn has a hard outer layer, which protects the small, soft endosperm inside the kernel. And this hard outer layer is said to be as hard as flint, hence the name.
Got it.
It's very glassy in appearance and typically has long, slender ears. In addition, flint corn comes in a large range of colors, as you can see, and are often very tall plants. Pretty sure that's the type of corn that it's in street food. It is! Yeah, exactly. Endosperm, yes. Biology, Quip, biology. Unfortunately, though, many people miss out on the culinary qualities of flint corn and sideline them as decorative, but, I mean, they are... I get it. Apparently, it is quite flavorful, though.
Oh, cool.
It can also be made into masa and hominy or ground when dried to make a coarse grind cornmeal, ideal for polenta. And it can also be popped when heated. However, the kernels will crack open rather than fully explode, which popcorn is like a fully exploded kernel.
Mm-hmm.
And it tastes kind of like corn nuts.
Neat.
But it is it's less susceptible to insect and rodent predation, which is good for storage.
Yeah. Nice. The least racist of corn crisps.
I guess so. I don't know. But it's very pretty, and I'm sad that we don't know more about flint corn, because I feel like this could be a great alternative. I don't know how it compares sweetness-wise to sweet corn, or how easy it is to grow necessarily.
Yeah.
But it's clearly falling out of popularity, which is kind of sad, but, yeah. I don't know. I'd give it a 7. I'd try it.
It's pretty.
It is so pretty. I imagine it's used mostly for decoration.
Yeah.
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 Quite lovely. And I think this is the last one, and it's the favorite. Popcorn.
Wait, popcorn is a specific type of...
Indeed it is.
I did not know that. Anyway.
7 out of 10, corn is being racist. It is, Quip. Single-handedly. So popcorn is actually the oldest domesticated type and is very similar glassy appearance to flint corn, but is miniature with small kernels and ears. When popcorn is heated, like we know, the moisture inside the kernel turns to steam and then explodes the starch inside, literally turning the kernel inside out. The result is the white, starchy, crunchy treat that is familiar to us all. Popcorn is very approachable from the home gardener because it doesn't require extra time for processing to make edible, and many varieties have a short space-saving stature. It clearly comes in a range of colors. There is yellow Tom Thumb or the red strawberry, to multicolored rainbow varieties such as Cochiti and Glass Gem. And it is harvested when the ears are dry and the kernels are hard. Too little or much moisture will result in poor popping. And because of the high starch content of the kernel, popcorn is also extremely chewy when harvested at their immature stage and is best left to fully mature before eating. However, also, it is not the variety of popcorn that will resort in the bright red or rainbow popcorn. All popcorn will pop white because the endosperm or the starch... What are you doing?
My cat is... Hold on.
The starch is white. So that's why. It's like, are you okay?
Yes. He was just like in where he's not supposed to be in the Christmas presents underneath my desk, and it was a whole thing.
That's where he belongs.
No, it's not. He was eating the plastic.
Oh, even better.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Even better.
I was going to show him on camera, but he ran away.
Oh.
Here we are.
That's okay. I don't have any of them in here tonight. They've decided I'm not worth their time after spending it in here with me the rest of the day.
They just didn't want to hear about corn.
Nope. Yeah, it's their loss. This is like the corn you get in those Chinese Japanese noodle stir fries. I don't know.
I think that's different. Corn. I think that's different.
Instead of finding rainbow, you get generic color. Honestly, yeah. And the thing is, you might see a little bit of color once it's popped, but most of the time it's just going to be the white starch from the inside. So yeah, I love popcorn, so it gets like 100 out of 10 for me. They left after hearing the slander of I don't like caramel. I'm sorry.
It's a character flaw that we accept about Kirsten. It's fine.
It's true. Yeah, accept me. So popcorn pops and release endosperm releases, and I'm technically, kind of. I guess. I don't really know how that works for corn. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think for this specific type of corn, it's just starch in the little pods.
Yeah.
For the corn, the dented corn was the one that had like the soft like endosperm on the inside.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I just realized as well, which I love for us and for me specifically? I never turned on the lo-fi music for the entirety of the pod. So it's been silent outside of our breathing this entire time.
Oh, no!
And with that, that's all I have tonight. Guess I'm gonna play our outro music.
I'm sorry you guys had to listen to us pause and breathe weirdly.
How was that?
Too much.
I can't. I couldn't possibly. Didn't notice, was too busy learning about corn.
I love that. I love that.
I didn't notice either.
We have a captive audience. It's fine.
I didn't notice until there was silence after the popcorn. I was like, wow, it's really quiet in here. And I saw my Spotify wasn't on. So
that's good. That's good.
Give it a minute. A Pokemon spawns. That's true. You have 40 seconds. So I'm gonna let you guys catch the Pokemon. Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you enjoyed the corn episode. I don't think we're gonna raid out tonight. So that you guys can catch the Pokemans. And 20 seconds left of the Pokemon before it spawns. What's your recap? My recap is we were once sick and now we are not. We are back and we have popped. And
basically we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Hope, fingers crossed.
Yeah,
we'll
right.
See you in 2 weeks. And it will officially be December for us Americans as well. For Spotify.
It'll be December for everyone, Kirsten.
Just for Americans.
No.
What I meant was it's already December for, like, Quip. Okay, he's in the future. He's on the other side.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's fine.
See you on the other side.
You're right. It's fine.
I'm just gonna turn on our ending screen. Whatever.
Thank God.
What? Just
get it out of here.
Good luck with the Pokemon, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When it's
rate us
December.
5 stars.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 5 stars and socials and stuff.
You know where to talk to us. It's fine.
Or you don't have to. That's also fine. Happy Hanukkah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Hanukkah.
Woo. Did y'all catch it yet? I'm waiting for it to say who's caught it. The music is running out. I do. His name is Quip. Bye, Corn. Oh no, the music is ending! Somebody catch the Pokemon! The music is over! How long does this last? Oh, it escaped. Alright, bye!